Hey loves, welcome to Inner Love Messages. My name is Sarah. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Alright, let's dive in. I've got a message of love coming through from your person, and I'll be using this deck to tune into their current emotions, how they're seeing you and your connection, and anything else that their heart is trying to express right now. My goal is to deliver this message clearly, directly, and straight from their heart space to yours. The energy coming through first is strongly connected to spiritual protection and the divine feminine. What I'm sensing is that there's a masculine presence who's no longer part of your life, but even though you've gone separate ways, they haven't stopped searching for you. It's like they're holding on, even if they don't fully understand why. No matter how much time passes or how far they reach, they can't seem to reconnect with you. And this inability to find you again is deeply frustrating for them. It's like they're being pulled toward you, but the harder they try to reach you, the more distant you become. There was a time when you were very accessible to this person. Maybe it was easy for them to reach out, speak with you, or feel your presence in some way. But that energy has shifted now. What used to be open has closed. What used to be available is no longer there. You're no longer in the same space, and they can feel that change like a missing heartbeat. It's left them feeling restless and unsettled, like they've lost something vital and can't quite find their way back. You might have made conscious decisions to pull back from this person. Perhaps you changed your contact details, stepped away from social media, or simply changed your daily habits. In some cases, it might have been more intentional, a deliberate choice to create space between you and them. Maybe you reached a point where you knew it was time to protect your peace. Whatever it is, your absence is affecting them deeply. Their energy feels frantic, like there's something they urgently need to say, something unresolved that they can't let go of. To them, it feels like time is running out, and that urgency is building, almost overwhelming in its intensity. But within that urgency, there's also a quiet warning. If you identify with the divine feminine in this situation, this may be someone you've shared a long history with. You were likely very close at one point, emotionally or even spiritually. But now, there's space between you. Maybe it was a conscious choice on your end, or maybe it happened naturally over time. Either way, this pause has brought you a newfound clarity. You're beginning to see them more clearly now. What once felt foggy or confusing is becoming easier to understand. But along with that clarity, you might also be grappling with inner doubt, wondering whether to trust what you're now seeing and feeling. It's not easy to accept, especially when it contradicts what you once believed so deeply. What's being revealed now is the quiet, underlying spiritual mismatch that existed between the two of you all along. Even though there was closeness, there was also something about them that always left you feeling slightly off-center, like your soul was trying to alert you to something you couldn't quite name. You may have pushed those feelings down, explaining them away for the sake of love or connection, but now, with distance, you can no longer ignore what you feel. The energetic bond between you was strong, so strong it may have clouded your judgment, creating a kind of blind spot. But now that you've stepped back, you're seeing things from a different angle. It's as if a veil has been lifted and the truth is making itself known. You're beginning to understand that the connection, as deep as it felt, wasn't in harmony with your spirit. There's a deeper awareness waking up inside you now, and while it's freeing to see the truth, it can also be disorienting, especially if your heart is still tangled in memories of what once was. You're starting to realize why something never quite felt right. That spiritual misalignment is becoming impossible to ignore. It's not about blame or regret, it's about recognizing what your soul has been trying to show you all along. Now, the divine feminine within you is being asked to rise even higher. This moment is about more than just emotional detachment. It's about protecting your spirit. The changes you're making, whether that's releasing old ties, cutting off certain connections, or simply choosing peace, are all leading you back to yourself. You're in a phase of deep healing, and your intuition is playing a powerful role in guiding you forward. Listen closely to those quiet nudges from within, even if the truth is uncomfortable. It's there to set you free. As this masculine energy continues to search for you, take it as a reflection of how far you've come. You've grown, you've changed, and you've had the courage to walk away from something that no longer supports your highest good. Don't dismiss the feelings that are coming up, whether it's uncertainty, hesitation, or even fear. These emotions are part of your inner wisdom, helping you recognize what's healthy and what isn't. You are stepping into a more empowered version of yourself, and that deserves to be honored. The divine feminine energy within you knows what it means to align with peace, clarity, and truth. As you move forward, take the time to reevaluate what truly nourishes your spirit. Let go of anything that no longer resonates with who you're becoming. The more you honor your inner truth, the more you'll attract connections that feel aligned and authentic. Right now, you're being held in deep spiritual protection. Let that support guide you. Trust that your journey is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. It's possible that when this person first came into your life, they made a strong impression. There might have been an immediate pull toward them, like your souls recognized each other. But despite that initial spark, you may have always sensed something beneath the surface, a kind of tension or uncertainty that made you pause. There's a layer of mystery surrounding this person, something you haven't been able to fully understand. Whether it's their true path, their intentions, or even their own spiritual alignment, you've felt that something didn't fully add up. That quiet unease may have stayed with you from the beginning, lingering like a whisper in the background. You might have questioned your own feelings, wondering if you were just overthinking. But deep down, your intuition has been speaking to you, and now the energy around this connection is beginning to shift. The presence of spiritual protection in this reading signals that a deeper truth is about to come to light. What has been hidden is ready to be revealed. Whatever you've been sensing, doubting, or feeling unsure about, it's about to be confirmed. The universe is helping you see clearly now. This clarity won't come from the surface level, it's going to come from a deeper place, a higher perspective that transcends logic. It's the kind of truth that speaks directly to your soul, and when it arrives, it'll feel like a knowing you've always had, finally being validated. This is your moment to honor that knowing, to trust your inner voice, to protect your energy. You've already started the journey of stepping into alignment with your higher self. Keep going. Let the truth guide you, not just about this person, but about yourself, your strength, your growth, and your sacred path forward. There's a powerful message moving through right now. Something significant is about to come to light, and it's connected to a masculine energy around you. This presence holds something important, a truth that's been quietly waiting to reveal itself. As this truth rises to the surface, it brings with it clarity and understanding. You'll begin to see things as they truly are, not through guesswork or assumption, but with unmistakable confirmation. It's as if a veil is being lifted, and with it comes a deep sense of knowing. You might have already been sensing this in subtle ways. Perhaps there have been signs, strange synchronicities, moments that made you pause and wonder. These weren't coincidences, they were nudges from your spiritual team, gentle whispers from the unseen guides who walk with you. They've been trying to prepare you for what's coming next. And now, it's time for the message to come through clearly. This moment marks a shift, a deepening of a connection that has always run far deeper than what's been visible on the surface. There is a masculine presence that desires to meet you beyond the external, beyond the everyday interactions, and into the realm of soulful recognition. This energy doesn't just want to see you, it wants to truly experience you. Not in the shallow, fleeting way so many connections unfold, but in a way that reaches into the core of who you are. And what's even more compelling is that this isn't just about one person. This moment reflects a greater movement, a bigger picture. It's about how masculine energy, on a deeper collective level, is awakening to the power and depth of the divine feminine, your essence. Before you dive into the full message, I want to take a moment to express something from my heart. If this reading resonates with you and you appreciate the energy and intention that went into it, consider sending a super thanks as a way of sharing love and support. It means the world. Now back to the energy around you. It's strong. It's magnetic in a way that's difficult to define, but impossible to ignore. You don't just move through the world as a person, you move through it as a living, breathing embodiment of something greater. Your presence alone carries a frequency that pulls people in. They may not understand it, they may not even be able to put words to it, but they feel it. You offer more than company. You offer an experience, a brush with something sacred, something that shakes people out of the ordinary and into a space where they remember the soul. This is why people are drawn to you. Not simply because of how you look or how you speak, but because of what your energy unlocks within them. There's a reverence in your presence, something ancient and mystical that resonates deep in the hearts of those around you. You don't just light up a room, you shift its energy. And because of that, people often want to be near you, to connect with the source of that radiance. But with this magnetism comes a challenge. When you hold this kind of light, not everyone approaches with pure intentions. Some are mesmerized by the glow, but don't truly seek to know the soul behind it. They're drawn to the way you make them feel, to the energy you exude, but not always to the real, whole you. That's the burden of being both powerful and radiant. You must discern who sees your soul and who only sees your shine. This is where your intuition steps in as your greatest ally. That deep inner knowing has never failed you. It's what allows you to protect your energy, to guard the sacred spaces of your spirit, and your spiritual team is with you every step of the way. They're helping you see clearly, guiding you as you navigate the difference between genuine connection and energetic attachment. You're not alone in this. Even when it feels confusing or overwhelming, you're being supported from realms beyond the visible. As you continue to gain insight, it's important to remember who you truly are. You're not ordinary. You're not meant to dim your light to fit into spaces that can't hold it. You're the embodiment of the divine feminine, a walking, breathing portal of transformation. You hold an energy that doesn't just attract, it awakens. And knowing this, fully claiming this truth, allows you to step into your power with grace and discernment. You'll begin to see with greater clarity who is aligned with your soul and who is simply captivated by the energy you radiate. This journey will continue to challenge you to stay grounded in your truth, to set firm boundaries not from fear, but from love for yourself and your path. As you do, you'll begin to experience more aligned connections, ones that honor not just your light, but your entire being. Your energy is more than beautiful. It's magnetic. It draws people to you in ways they can't even explain. This isn't about physical beauty, although that may be part of what initially catches attention. It's about what you carry, the depth, the softness, the power that flows through you like an invisible current. People may not be able to articulate what it is they feel around you, but they feel it. And for some, that feeling is unforgettable. Right now, someone in particular is feeling this pull very strongly. There's a masculine energy that finds itself completely taken by your presence. They may not fully understand what's happening, but they know something inside them shifts when they think of you, when they are near you, or even when they remember you. You represent a mystery, a force they're drawn to explore. There's an ache, a hunger, a curiosity to experience the energy you bring, not just from a place of desire, but from a place of soul. What's happening is more than attraction. This person feels that you are a portal to something they've never experienced before. You aren't just a person to them. You are a possibility, a mirror, a key. You spark something in them that's been dormant or unrecognized. They sense that being near you could change everything, even if they can't quite explain how or why. You make them feel. You make them remember. You make them question. This connection, even if unspoken or not fully developed, holds the potential to transform them, and maybe even you. But you've likely noticed that this isn't just about one person. There are others who also find themselves drawn to you. Some with clear intentions, others who are still figuring out what it is they want. And this is where discernment becomes essential. Some are pulled to your light because they want to take from it, not because they want to contribute to it. They seek to experience the magic without offering anything in return. And while that may not make them bad, it does mean they are not aligned with your soul's highest good. Still, this message brings confirmation that the person who's been most present in your thoughts lately is not entirely like the others. While they were initially drawn to the energy you radiate, they've come to see you as something far more meaningful. To them, you represent a path to something deeper within themselves, a version of life, of love, of connection that they didn't know was possible. Your energy has stirred something in them that they can't ignore. They see you as a doorway, not to escape, but to return to truth, to soul, to what feels real. And what you carry within you is not common. This kind of divine feminine essence, this power to heal, to inspire, to awaken is rare. When people experience it, they don't forget. It lingers in their memory like a dream they wish they could return to. This is what makes you unforgettable. Not your looks, not your voice, not your words, but the energy behind it all. The soul that speaks in silence. The presence that shifts something within them the moment they feel it. You are not here to shrink or to hide. You are here to embody the fullness of who you are. And those who are meant for you, those who can meet you on the level of soul, will rise to that vibration. They will see beyond the glow and seek the heart. They will not just admire your light. They will respect the journey it took to hold it. And when that happens, the connection that unfolds will not only be deep but destined. Because you're so deeply in tune with the strength and purity of your own energy, it's incredibly important for you to be mindful of who you allow into your space. You're not someone who can just let anyone in and hope for the best. You understand the weight and power of your own vibration. That awareness naturally makes you more discerning, prompting you to pause and reflect before truly letting others in. It's not just about surrounding yourself with people, it's about surrounding yourself with the right people. Those who don't just match your vibe on the surface, but who genuinely honor and align with the deeper essence of who you are. This goes beyond the idea of compatibility. It's about protecting your inner peace, your emotional clarity, and the sacred energy that you embody as a divine feminine. Your frequency is not just high, it's holy, and because of that, it deserves to be met with truth, alignment, and resonance, not distortion, not resistance, and certainly not energy that drains or disrupts your inner flow. This kind of energetic self-care isn't just for your spiritual well-being, it's essential for your growth and stability. When you allow energy that doesn't reflect your truth to linger in your life, it begins to chip away at your balance. You might feel exhausted, uncertain, or thrown off center. And as you continue to rise, becoming more in tune with your higher self, you'll realize that the connections you choose must support that elevation. It's not always easy. Sometimes these realizations bring hard truths. But what's essential is that you stand in your power, guard your energy, and uphold the sacred boundaries that your spirit needs to thrive. The message that's coming through now feels like a confession, especially from a masculine energy. It carries the weight of something unspoken, something honest and raw. It's as though this person is finally acknowledging what they may not have had the courage or clarity to admit before. There's the sense that they were pulled towards you, not fully understanding what that meant or what the consequences would be. Their desire to connect with you wasn't rooted in logic. It was emotional, impulsive, magnetic. They were drawn in by something they couldn't quite explain. And before we go further, if you've felt a connection with this space, with the energy shared here, and you'd like to be part of our small and sacred family, don't forget to hit that join button and subscribe. We'd love to have you here with us. Back to what's unfolding. What's becoming clearer now is that you're starting to see through the illusions. You're beginning to sense what was really motivating this person's actions, even if they couldn't articulate it themselves. Their intentions may not have been malicious, but they weren't entirely transparent either. Perhaps they were searching for validation, or maybe they were trying to fill a void. It could be that they were chasing a feeling they couldn't get anywhere else. You're starting to peel back the layers now. What once felt cloudy is starting to come into focus, and your intuition is leading the way. As the divine feminine, you carry an energy that's deeply protected by the spiritual realm. There's an invisible force around you, a kind of divine shield that not only guards your spirit but also amplifies your presence in ways you might not always understand. Even when you don't say a word, people feel it. They sense the power in your silence, the intensity in your stillness. This energy draws people in, often without them even realizing why. But this kind of magnetism also brings all kinds of attention, some genuine, some unclear, and some with intentions that aren't quite aligned with yours. A new message is coming through now, and it's echoing loudly. My feelings for you are too intense. These words carry the weight of both a confession and a call for understanding. What's being revealed is that this masculine energy feels overwhelmed by the depth of emotion they're experiencing. There's no pretending here. They've been moved in ways they weren't ready for. This isn't just a fleeting attraction. This isn't surface level. This is deep, emotional, and consuming. And while they're trying to be honest about how they feel, there's also an underlying fear. The intensity scares them. They didn't expect it, and now they're trying to make sense of it all. They want to be seen, not just for how they appear on the outside, but for who they truly are, underneath the layers and expectations they've carried for so long. They're asking you to look past the masks, past the societal roles, and see the soul that's been stirred by this connection. They know you're powerful. They've felt it in ways that are hard to put into words. They've been watching, not in a way that feels invasive, but with curiosity and admiration. They've noticed how you move, how your presence shifts energy, how people react to you. And it hasn't gone unnoticed how your energy seems to affect everyone, including them. This level of impact you've had on them is unlike anything they've known before. It's shaken their world in the best and most terrifying way. They're not used to this kind of vulnerability, to being so emotionally disarmed. And yet, here they are, standing in the wake of everything they've felt for you, unable to deny how real it all is. Their confusion isn't because they don't care, it's because they care more than they ever expected to. What's happening here is deeper than attraction. It's not just about being drawn to your beauty or your presence. It's about something unseen that has been guiding this connection all along. From the very beginning, it's as if an unseen force, a kind of divine orchestration, pulled them toward you. They didn't choose this, not in the usual sense. They didn't plan it, and they certainly didn't expect it. It feels like destiny stepped in and rearranged the rules of their life, placing you at the center in a way they couldn't have anticipated. And it's not like they're someone who falls easily. They're typically composed, self-controlled, and strong. They have their rules and their boundaries, and they don't usually break them. But with you, all of that went out the window without even trying. You've made them question everything they thought they knew. You've cracked open a part of them they didn't even know was closed. This isn't just about emotion, it's about transformation. Being near you has changed them in ways they can't ignore. What's even more telling is that they weren't looking for this. They weren't seeking you out. In fact, they may have even tried to avoid you at first, sensing the gravity of your energy from afar. They might have instinctively known that if they got too close, they wouldn't be able to pull away, that your presence would ignite something in them they couldn't control. But the universe has a way of making sure what's meant to be will find its way. And despite their hesitation, despite the fear, here they are, entangled in a connection that feels fated, undeniable, and life-altering. You are not just any presence in their life. You are the one that shifted their world. And while others may have shown interest or curiosity, this person didn't choose to be captivated by you. It simply happened. Like gravity, like soul memory. They didn't want to fall, but they did. And now they're caught between the desire to understand what this all means and the deep, unshakable knowing that something extraordinary has taken hold of their heart. They are not used to surrendering. They are not used to being this emotionally exposed. But something about you has opened a door they can't close. You've become a mirror to everything they've buried, everything they've never allowed themselves to feel. And in that mirror, they're beginning to see a version of themselves they never knew existed. This connection is not random. It's not ordinary. It's cosmic. And now, with everything rising to the surface, both of you are being called to face the truth of what it means. Not just for the moment, but for the soul. If they could find the right words, they'd tell you it's simply too much to explain. Not because they're unwilling to express what they feel, but because the depth of what's happening between you both reaches far beyond the limits of language. What they're feeling can't be captured in simple descriptions. It's something that lives in the spaces between words, in the silence that speaks louder than sound. This connection you share defies explanation. It's powerful, it's magnetic, and it moves through them in ways they don't fully understand. If you're wondering how this masculine energy really feels, know this. They see you in a way that goes far beyond the physical. They feel your essence, your presence, your energy. It radiates something that draws them in deeply. There's something about you that feels almost otherworldly, as if your soul carries a frequency they've been searching for, perhaps without even knowing it. There's an intensity to you that they can't ignore. It's not dangerous in the typical sense, but it carries a power that pulls them closer even when they try to create space. Your energy feels like a gravitational field that keeps tugging at their spirit, not just their body or mind. Even when caution creeps in, even when doubts try to speak louder, they find themselves pulled toward you anyway. There's something sacred about your energy, something they can't resist. You carry with you a deep sense of spiritual protection. It's as if your soul is wrapped in layers of divine light, making your presence feel both safe and untouchable. This might stir uncertainty in them, not because of anything you've done, but because your energy invites them to question their own motives. Are they coming toward you for the right reasons? Are they ready for this level of connection? Even so, the magnetic pull between you both is undeniable. It's not just attraction. It's a force neither of you can fully name, but both of you can feel. It's not casual. It's not surface level. It's soul level. And it calls both of you into something unknown, but deeply familiar. And when we talk about the idea of a soul contract, it starts to make even more sense. If this message resonates with you, then you're not just dealing with chance or coincidence. This isn't just a case of curiosity or chemistry. There's something ancient unfolding here, something sacred. A soul contract is a commitment made between souls before arriving here in this life, a sacred pact to meet again and fulfill something meaningful together. And with this person, it feels like that's exactly what's happening. Your paths crossing wasn't random. This meeting feels destined, as if a greater force has woven your timelines together with purpose. It's the kind of connection that stirs something in your core, even when nothing has been fully said or understood. For the feminine energy in this, there's often a strong inner knowing that things are unfolding just as they're meant to. It's not about having all the answers, but about recognizing the signs, the intuitive nudges, the familiar feeling in unfamiliar places. Even when there's confusion or delay, there's still this sense that it's all part of something much bigger. This connection with the masculine energy doesn't feel like an accident. It feels like part of a grander design, something etched into your soul's blueprint long before you were born. There's also this beautiful contrast between you. Maybe you come from different worlds, hold different beliefs, or carry different energies, but somehow those very differences are part of the draw. It's in the contrast that the spark is born. It's the polarity that fuels the alchemy. It's what turns the relationship into a sacred dance of balance, growth, and transformation. And even if you're opposites in many ways, that only strengthens the soul connection. It becomes a powerful teacher, one that helps you both evolve. On a deeper spiritual level, this connection holds so many lessons. You've likely walked through your fair share of transformation already. You carry the energy of someone who has been through the fire and emerged wiser, more grounded, and more in tune with who you truly are. Your soul feels like it's on a mission, a path that isn't always easy to define, but one that's undeniably real. The masculine senses this. They feel the depth of your energy, the strength of your spirit, the quiet but unwavering light you carry. You may not see it, but they do. They see how your journey has shaped you into someone aligned, purposeful, and deeply connected to your higher self. Meanwhile, they may still be finding their way spiritually. They might not have all the clarity yet, but that doesn't mean they're not being affected. Quite the opposite. You're a mirror to them, showing them parts of their soul they haven't fully explored. There's something about you that speaks directly to their higher self, waking something inside of them that was once dormant. They may not understand it completely, but they feel it. They feel it in their heart, their gut, their bones. You're not just a person to them. You're a key, a light, a sacred reminder of who they are becoming. That's what makes this soul contract so powerful. It's not just about coming together. It's about becoming together, growing together, healing, discovering, remembering. It's a connection designed to take you both deeper, not only into one another, but into your own inner worlds. You were meant to meet so you could awaken something in each other, something that could only come alive through this specific bond. And even if you don't know what's next, the connection is already working its magic, guiding both of you forward in ways that only the soul can truly understand. Relationships, especially ones with this level of intensity, often serve as sacred mirrors. They reflect back to us the things we need to see, the wounds we need to heal, the truths we need to uncover. Sometimes it's messy, sometimes it's emotional, but it's never without purpose. Every challenge, every moment of doubt or difficulty carries a seed of transformation. These soul-level connections aren't always smooth, but they're always meaningful. They push you into higher awareness, greater understanding, and deeper love for yourself, for them, and for the divine orchestration of it all. And as you move through those experiences, you change. You become more aligned, more aware, more connected to your own truth. You start to recognize the divine timing, the synchronicities that never were random but always guided. You begin to see your life as something you are co-creating with the universe, not just reacting to, but shaping one soul encounter at a time. The people who enter your life in these profound ways are never just passing through. They arrive with purpose, even if that purpose takes time to reveal itself. When someone steps into your life and their presence lingers in your energy long after they're gone, it means something. It's more than just attraction. It's more than just timing. It's soul recognition. It's the heart whispering, "This matters." And even if you're not sure what it means just yet, your soul already knows. You may find yourself reflecting on the moments you've shared, trying to understand the deeper meaning. You might feel that magnetic pull even when logic tells you to let go, but something keeps bringing your energy back to them. That's the sign. That's the message. This is no ordinary connection. This is something with roots far beyond this lifetime. And for the masculine, this is becoming clearer. They're starting to see you not just as someone intriguing, but as someone who holds layers they haven't even begun to fully uncover. You've sparked something in them, a desire to know more, to feel more, to grow more. They may not say it out loud, but inside, there's a recognition, a remembrance, a curiosity that won't fade. There's still more to come between you, more unfolding to witness. Whether it's the love that hasn't yet been fully expressed or the growth that's only just begun, this journey is far from over. Something sacred is at play here, and both of your souls know it, even if your minds haven't caught up yet. So trust in that, trust in the pull, trust in your heart. Because what you're feeling isn't just fantasy or hope. It's your soul remembering something real. And that remembrance, that sacred recognition, is the beginning of something far greater than either of you could have ever imagined. This connection you share with them goes far deeper than the physical. It's not just about appearances. What draws them in is the energy you carry, the essence of who you are beneath the surface, and all the layers of your being that can't be touched or explained easily. It's that quiet, powerful presence you bring, that subtle magnetism that keeps pulling them back in. There's something unfinished between you two, something lingering with potential. But instead of feeling like a burden, it feels like a doorway, an opportunity for both of you to grow, to transform, to step into something more meaningful than either of you may have anticipated. What you're experiencing isn't some fleeting spark or temporary detour. It's the beginning of a path that holds the potential to bring out parts of yourselves that have long been dormant, quietly waiting to be acknowledged. This connection is taking you both into deeper realms of awareness, about love, about self, about life. And as you continue to navigate this journey, it becomes more and more obvious that there's a cosmic invitation here to go deeper, to explore more, to unravel the deeper truths that lie between and within you both. The road ahead is still unfolding, and there's much left to discover, not just about each other, but about who you are individually and the energetic bond that keeps you connected. One of the things that makes you stand out so clearly is the level of inner work you've done, the way your mind has expanded, and how focused you are on your own evolution. You've reached a space where you no longer feel the need to fix anyone, to reshape them into something else. Instead, you understand that transformation is an inside job, something that must be chosen, not forced. This inner knowing has shaped how you show up, especially in this particular connection. Rather than trying to steer their path or make them see things your way, you've taken a graceful step back, allowing them to come into their own understanding in their own time. That kind of trust and respect speaks volumes. It's not loud or attention-seeking, but it's powerful nonetheless. It shows how much you honor not just their journey, but the sacred process of becoming. While many may feel the urge to jump in, to guide or fix, especially when they operate from a place of feminine energy, you've chosen a different route. You've chosen to embody the true strength of the feminine, not in doing, but in being. You've created a space that feels safe and supportive, where they can figure things out without pressure or judgment. You've learned that real growth happens from within, and the most helpful thing you can sometimes do is simply hold space and trust the unfolding. Your energy carries the quiet authority of someone who knows their worth. You don't need to push. You don't need to convince. You just are, and that's what draws them in. There's a softness in your strength, a wisdom in your silence. You reflect to them a version of themselves they're still trying to reach, and in doing so, you awaken something deeper. Lately, they've begun to notice the sanctuary you've built around them, not just in your presence, but in your absence too. The peace you offer, the non-judgmental space you hold, has given them the clarity to listen to their own inner voice. You've made them slow down in ways they never expected. Where they once may have rushed or acted impulsively, your presence causes pause. They're beginning to understand why people are naturally drawn to you. It's not just your beauty or your presence, but the way your mind works, the way you see and sense the world. You're far more insightful than most people realize, especially those who carry more masculine energy. Your strength lies in your ability to see through the noise, to connect to the deeper current running underneath the surface. That kind of awareness is rare, and it's what initially caught their attention. You didn't chase. You didn't try to prove yourself. You simply honored your space and let things unfold naturally. That approach, calm, centered, self-assured, is exactly what they didn't know they needed. It caused them to pause, to look inward, and to consider what really matters. In a world that's always moving, always demanding more, you bring a sense of stillness. You remind them to breathe, to be, to reflect, and that, more than anything, is what they find so magnetic. It's not just attraction, it's admiration. It's a quiet awe at the depth of who you are. If you're wondering why they seem to be circling back, retracing their steps, the answer isn't rooted in confusion. It's about clarity. They needed space to understand what this connection meant. The time apart wasn't a disconnection, but a retreat into their own thoughts. But what they didn't expect was how quickly the energetic space around you became protected once they stepped away. That's not a coincidence. That's the result of the spiritual work you've done, the boundaries you've built, and the divine forces that surround you. Your energy isn't just radiant, it's sacred and it's guarded. Not everyone is meant to have access to it, and you've come to honor that. Over time, you've learned to see through appearances. Some people entered your life drawn to your light, your warmth, even your healing presence. But not everyone came with pure intentions. Some were attracted because of unresolved wounds within themselves, and you've had to learn, sometimes the hard way, how to protect your energy. Through all of this, you've become discerning. You've grown into someone who can sense when something is aligned and when it's not. And that's made all the difference. This discernment is part of what makes your energy so compelling. The masculine energy in your life sees that now. It's not just your presence, but your presence of mind, your awareness, your wisdom, your knowing. You've evolved in ways that are deeply spiritual, and they're beginning to realize that. They've spent much of their time grounded in the physical, the practical, the logical, but being around you has introduced them to something else, something higher, something they didn't even know they were searching for. You've opened a doorway into a part of themselves that had been dormant. What they're feeling now is more than affection, it's a sense of safety. With you, they feel like they can breathe, like they don't have to pretend or perform. You've offered them a space to be vulnerable, and that's not something they're used to. Your connection is rooted in the heart chakra, a place that often goes untouched in their world. They're used to being anchored in the lower chakras, focused on survival, on success, on stability. But your presence has helped open something more tender, more real. You've helped them tune into their heart, and that's no small feat. The heart chakra is a gateway. It connects the earthly to the divine. And you, as the divine feminine, live in that space naturally. You move between worlds, grounded yet deeply spiritual, and that's what makes your energy so rare. When someone meets you, it's like meeting a reflection of something they've forgotten but deeply need. And while meeting at the heart is a beautiful beginning, it's only the beginning. For the connection to grow, the energy must move, either up into the higher chakras for greater spiritual connection or down into the lower ones for grounding and manifestation. Which direction it flows depends on where you both are and what you're willing to allow. This is where things become more delicate, for the energy to rise, for the connection to deepen spiritually. The masculine energy must trust, not just you, but the unknown, the journey itself. That kind of trust requires vulnerability, and vulnerability doesn't come easy. It asks for surrender, for openness, for a willingness to be seen without the armor. But if he can trust, if he can take that leap, then something incredible awaits. You, as the divine feminine, are already holding that energy. You're already leading, quietly but powerfully. And if he's ready to meet you there, the transformation that follows will be extraordinary. But this isn't just about emotional openness, it's about spiritual courage. To walk this path requires patience, compassion, and a deep willingness to evolve. But the reward is immense. As the trust deepens, the energy rises, and the connection becomes something sacred, something aligned with a higher purpose. This is the beauty of a soul connection, not just two people finding each other, but two souls becoming something greater together. Still, not all journeys are smooth. When the masculine energy struggles with trust, there can be a tendency to pull the feminine downward, to retreat into the lower chakras where things feel safer, more controlled. But that's not where you thrive. For the divine feminine, those lower spaces, rooted in fear, insecurity, or survival, can feel destabilizing, especially if the masculine is imbalanced. When this happens, it's not just emotional discomfort, it's a spiritual dissonance that affects both of you deeply. This is why understanding energy is so important. The connection isn't just about words or actions, it's an exchange of frequency. In moments of imbalance, your role is not to abandon yourself or follow them into the depths, but to stay anchored in your own light, to hold space without losing your center. This is the quiet strength of the feminine, the ability to remain steady, even when the energy around you is turbulent, and it's from that place of grounded presence that true healing happens, not by force, not by control, but by simply being who you are, steady, open, wise. That's the energy that guides transformation. That's the kind of presence that changes lives. The masculine is being called to face his fears and insecurities, to begin the inner work that allows true balance to take shape within the connection. Energy between two people can only align when both are willing to surrender fully to the journey. It's not about controlling or forcing the bond into a specific mold defined by outside expectations. It's about trusting the natural rhythm and flow that already exists between them. When the masculine speaks the words, "I feel safe with you," it's more than just a simple phrase. It's a deeply meaningful affirmation, revealing a sense of trust and vulnerability that has been nurtured over time. These words hold a spiritual weight, signaling that the connection is something extraordinary, possibly even sacred. It could be a soulmate bond or something even more profound like a twin flame union. Whatever it is, the connection has a divine undertone rooted in a shared spiritual purpose that goes beyond the ordinary. It's within this sacred space that balance, trust, and healing begin to unfold, and it requires both people to show up with open hearts and full presence. On a deeper, more cosmic level, this energetic exchange is part of a larger spiritual dance. The energy between you two is in constant motion, rising, falling, shifting, just like the tides. In the physical world, this dance might appear as two people deeply drawn to one another, yet still working through their past, peeling back old wounds and lingering fears. As these emotional layers slowly dissolve, your authentic selves begin to shine through. That's when the energy starts to shift from being unstable or uncertain to something far more aligned and harmonious. This transformation is deeply connected to the heart chakra, the energetic center where divine love and inner peace reside. When both individuals start opening up their hearts, something magical happens. The energy begins to harmonize naturally. In this process, the role of the divine feminine becomes especially important. As the feminine, your energy is the grounding force that keeps everything steady. By holding your own center, you create a safe space that allows the masculine to surrender to his own growth in his own time. There's a deep wisdom in the feminine essence that understands the power of patience, of trusting the unfolding even when it doesn't follow a clear or linear path. It may not always be visible on the surface, but the truth is you and the masculine are working together energetically all the time. You're both part of a shared spiritual mission, one that involves growth, healing, and ultimately, union. The road to full alignment isn't something that happens overnight. It's a gradual process that requires both of you to evolve, to rise into your highest selves. But when the masculine finally connects with his heart space, when he begins to truly feel from that deep place, a powerful shift takes place. It's rare, it's beautiful, and it's transformative. At this point, the connection moves far beyond anything surface level. It becomes rich, intimate, and deeply spiritual. The love you've each cultivated within yourselves begins to overflow into the relationship. And when that happens, a true union forms, one that isn't based on appearances or circumstances, but on the pure, divine energy of love and mutual balance. As the feminine, your presence is essential in maintaining this sacred energetic space. You're the nurturer, the one who stabilizes the connection through your steady, unwavering energy. The masculine might struggle, he might resist or retreat at times, but your role is to keep holding the space for him with compassion and inner strength. As your energies slowly begin to align and flow together, you'll co-create something incredibly sacred, a space where love, trust, and divine harmony can thrive. What you're building together has the potential to be far more powerful than anything either of you could have created alone. There's a reason why you, divine feminine, are surrounded by so much spiritual protection. Your aura is magnetic, your energy is strong, radiant, and deeply healing. Because of that, you may notice that many masculine energies are drawn to you. Some may come simply wanting to experience what your presence feels like. What they often don't realize is that just by connecting with your energy, they're stepping into something far deeper than they expected. Your energy has the power to awaken, to heal, and to transform, and that isn't something to be taken lightly. So with that, I'll close this message. If this content resonates with you and you've found value in it, consider showing your support with a super thanks. It truly helps us keep creating this kind of uplifting and empowering content. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future updates that are designed to inspire and encourage you on your journey. Your presence and support mean the world to us, and we are deeply grateful for you.